everyone, this is Davy. Today we're in Ghent for the NGBE conference in Belgium, organized by Sam and Jürgen. Oh, did I show you the logo? Here it is. Then, for the conference, we're shooting a Teach Me Anything section where we invite speakers, attendees to teach us things they know in under 10 minutes. It's going to be amazing, so stay tuned.
Hi, my name is Isaac Mann. I'm a senior Angular engineer at Narwhal, and I'm going to teach you about how to use Narwhal's open source NX tool to work on your Monorepo and use the NX's affected command to run only the tests that are actually affected by the code change that you just made.
Thanks, Isaac, for coming today. What can we learn from you in under 10 minutes?
All right, well, I'm going to introduce you to the NX tool. So NX is a tool for managing a monorepo.
Yep.
And a monorepo is basically a Git repository that contains more than one apps in it. So the idea is that you take multiple applications, you put them in one repository, so it makes it easy to share code between multiple applications. And we share, in NX, we call these shared pieces of code libraries. So in a NX monorepo, NX understands how the import system works. And so it can tell based on your TypeScript, so usually it's a TypeScript setup, and so it can follow your TypeScript imports and create a dependency graph based on how your libraries actually interact with each other. And so it knows your dependency graph, and then it can leverage that to do some really interesting things. So I'm going to show you what a dependency graph can look like in NX. So usually at the top you have an application, and then it depends on, say, a feature library.
Yep.
And so we'll make libraries a circle, and so we have two feature libraries here, and then they might depend on some shared code in a shared library, so maybe shared components of some kind. And maybe feature one also depends on some util libraries that has some maybe reusable functions or something like that.
Yep.
So we write tests, like unit tests, for each of these different projects here. For the application has its own tests, the feature one library has its own tests, each of these have their own tests. And so if we make a change, say we made a change to this feature one library here.
Okay.
It makes no sense to rerun the unit tests for feature 2 library, because a change in feature 1 does not affect feature 2 at all. But we do want to run the tests for our application, because feature 1 app depends on feature 1.
Yeah.
So we need to run the tests for feature 1 and the tests for app anytime we make a change to feature 1. And so with NX, there's just a command line that you just run NX affected, and with a test target, and that will look at your latest Git changes, and notice that because you changed feature 1 here, because it knows your dependency graph, it knows to run the tests for feature 1 and app. And so it saves you from having to run your tests for your whole repository anytime you make any change. If you didn't use NX and you were doing just a plain a repository we just dumped all the code together, then you would anytime you made any changes, you'd have to run the test for this and this and this. No matter where you made your changes, you'd have to run all your tests. Another benefit is you can even, there are a few flags you can add on to the affected command. You can do -- parallel here, and that will run the test for app and the test for feature in parallel with each other. And so instead of doing them sequentially, you run them in parallel.
Wow, interesting. And is it already available as a feature in NX?
Yeah, this is available. Right, this has been there for a long time, and so NX supports Angular projects, React projects, plain TypeScript projects, and we're expanding to to other frameworks as well. And there's nothing really framework specific about this concept. So it's just the idea of putting TypeScript code all together in one place. So say you had another application over here, app 2, that had its own feature, and that wanted to use some of this shared code. And if you changed this shared library, you would want to run tests on this and this and this.
Yeah.
And you can do that easily because it's all in the same repository, and NX knows that those things are all related to each other. And app 1 could be an Angular application, app 2 could be a React application, and this shared library could be web components that they're both using.
Very good. That's pretty clear.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
And we did that in 5 minutes, and see you for the next one.